Okay, Coach. So for the men's and women's teams for the fall portion of the season, both went 1-1 in the matches team-wise. What did you see from the fall portion that you worked on and honed in on in the really halftime of the season over the winter portion?
Well, we spent some time with some conditioning and in our individual instruction, small group instruction. With that, we also we brought in some new players for the spring, so tried to strengthen up some areas. I do a lot of international recruiting, so I tend to bring in some players in January every year. So.
Who were maybe some of those people, if you could kind of specify a little bit who you feel that you brought in that you're kind of excited about to start for the spring?
Well, on the women's side, brought in a girl from Serbia. Her name's Maria Temuzic, and I think she's really going to help strengthen us up. We're going to be deeper in women's tennis than we have been since I've been here. She's her level of play is equal with my other top two girls, so that's going to make us stronger. We're going to be a little stronger overall, than we were last year. Primarily, we're hoping to try and make a run, get in the NCAA tournament this year with the women.
On the men's side, was there anybody you brought in, or what is the state of the men's roster right now?
Well, right now, first off, Daniel Fernandez Galamani, who was here in the fall, didn't get cleared in time to play matches. And there was a guy that is one of our better players. So we actually played the fall without him, even though he was here. Mm-hmm. And then I brought in a Brazilian, Vitor Albanese, that is one of my top players here. So we're going to be a lot stronger overall. I don't know how that's going to pan out, over the course of the year. I mean, I can guarantee you that all the other teams that we're playing are much stronger, and our opening match is going to be a test of what I think could be two of the best teams in our region in our first match. So.
For now, upcoming in the spring here, what are some goals, some mindsets? This is, this is the true test. This is really the spring part of the season. You're going to have 90% of your schedules this time for the team aspect. Now you're focusing in on the PSACs, regionals, NCAAs, like you alluded to. So what is the mindset, goal set for the upcoming 2 months?
Well, it's pretty simple. We have primarily 3 or 4 goals for each program. Both goals have a goal of making a 3.0 as a student, and we're pretty good with that. We had over half our rosters, both the men and women, make the Scholar Academic Bank, which means they have cumulatives over 3.0, not just during that one semester. We also the other one is to make the PSAC tournament. And the girls have not made the PSAC tournament yet. The top 3 in the West make it, while the top 4 teams overall and the men make it. The men have made it from my second year on here. And we also have with the men as another goal, which is beside making the PSAC tournament, is to win the PSAC tournament. And then finally, the goal is to make the NCAA tournament. And the guys have a little farther reaching goal right now. Since we made the round of 16 last year, we'd like to win the regional and get out to surprise Arizona in May. But it'll be tougher than it was last year, even though on paper we're probably a lot better. It will still be tougher to do that because other teams have gotten a lot better. So, but those are primarily the goals of both programs right there.
Now in the fall, the men were only scheduled to have a couple matches. The women were supposed to have a few more, but the weather didn't allow that. Do you not like having as many matches in the fall, or does that not really affect it because of the big lull in the season?
Well, whatever you play in the fall counts toward making the NCAAs and all the other stuff. It did knock off. There was about 3 matches that we did play in the fall that would all counted as regional matches. Doesn't look like we're going to be making any of those up, so that hurts. One of those teams that we didn't play, West Liberty, with women's tennis, has beaten perennial NCAA qualifier, and because we're not going to get to play them, that could come down the wire now. So, as far as the law, Yeah, there's a law in between, but both stages are very, very important. Obviously, the second part of the phase is more important because it's closer to the time frame. But if you don't do well in the first in the first phase of the season, it will directly impact how successful you can be overall. So.
We talked about newcomers earlier on. Now some returners for the women's team, Aranzo, Julia, the two dominant ones that you're going to hopefully team with the new coming for the girl team. And then for the men's team, you have Matthias and you have others that have really stepped up. What would you like to see from them? Obviously, the continued success, but do you think they have any goals to try to improve their game to help the team?
Well, I think, on the women's side, I think, they're trying to get over the hump and make the NCAA tournament, and we've tried to instill that into them that is our goal, that we're not trying to fall short of that goal. That being said, we're going to rely heavily on those people you just named in order to try and get us there. They're going to have good seasons. Both of them had great seasons last year, and we hope to continue that on. They've also got to set the tone for some of the younger people about what's acceptable and what's not. So we're looking for that on the women's side. On the men's side, I can tell you this much. The biggest thing right now is me trying to keep us, is trying to make sure everybody stays very humble. They're looking too far ahead. So I've tried to step back a little bit because obviously our next obstacle is West Liberty, which we're going to play on February, I think the 21st. Mm-hmm. And like I said, they are very, very good. If I was a betting man, I would not be betting anything because it's just it's going to be a 50-50 match there. I think. Obviously, we're trying to improve in doubles. We felt like that was our suit last year, or our weak suit last year, and we're trying to improve on that. We've got better skill sets to make that happen, but unfortunately, none of our doubles partners will be the same this year as it was last year. So we're going to be getting used to new partners, and I hope the learning curve is going to be quick.
For you brought in some help in the lull of the season there with an assistant coach, Alex Bush, a Cleveland State graduate. What do you feel she's going to bring to the table? Why did you bring her aboard? And what do you think that's going to do for the tennis program here at Edinboro?
Well, we had our graduate assistant last year was Feiga Schmidt, and she came on board. And I was a little late with not knowing that she wasn't going to be able to she was going to try and get more experience in her field. So she took another GA position in school with the communications department. So I was a little late. So we went through the fall without an assistant. We tried to hire a few, but when I got Alex, one of the things that I like about Alex, she's a West Virginian just like myself. We know a lot of the same people. I remember her playing in high school. She graduated right when I came up here, so she went to Cleveland State like the first year that I went to Edinboro. So some of her teammates have played on my teams before. So what I like best about Alex is she's a very calm individual. I'm a lot more high strung, so I think it creates a great balance. Between the two of us and in our approaches to what we're doing. So I'm really looking forward to be working with her this spring.